Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm glad you guys are here, whatever time it is, man. Always stoked to go through the word with you. We're on the last chapter of Ruth as we continue studying about Ruth and Naomi, Boaz, and the sovereignty of God. Man, it's been a great book, a great study. I hope that you have been applying some of the things that we looked at in these chapters to your life and trying to live them out. But we're on chapter 4 today, and we're going to go 1 through 13 or 1 through 12. It's a little bit longer than normal, but it's because there's a lot of words to talk about small situations. So we're going to go through it like that. Now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there, and behold, the close relative of whom Boaz spoke was passing by. So he said, "Turn aside, friend, sit down." And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, "Sit down here," so that they sat down. Then he said to the closest relative, "Naomi, who has come back from the land of Moab, has to sell the piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech. So I thought to inform you, saying, buy it before those who are sitting here and before the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if not, tell me that I may know. For there is no one but you to redeem it, and I am after you." And he said, "I will redeem it." Then Boaz said, "On the day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you must also acquire Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of the deceased, in order to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance." The closest relative said, "I cannot redeem it for myself because I would jeopardize my own inheritance. Redeem it for yourself. You may have my right of redemption, for I cannot redeem it." Now this was the custom in former times in Israel concerning the redemption and the exchange of land to confirm any matter. A man removed his sandal and gave it to another, and this was the manner of attestation in Israel. So the closest relative said to Boaz, "Buy it for yourself," and he removed his sandal. Then Boaz said to the elders of all the people, "You are witnesses today that I have bought from the hand of Naomi all that belonged to Elimelech, and all that belonged to Chilion and Mahlon. Moreover, I have acquired Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of Mahlon, to be my wife, in order to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance, so that the name of the deceased will not be cut off from his brothers or from the court of his birthplace. You are witness today." All the people who were in the court and the elders said, "We are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, both of whom built the house of Israel. And may you achieve wealth in Ephrathah and become famous in Bethlehem. Moreover, may your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah, through the offspring which the Lord will give you by this young woman." So what we got here is that Boaz is doing what he said he was going to do. He goes out and talks to the closest person, the kinsman redeemer, who can redeem Ruth. And so he tells him that Naomi's got this land he's got to sell, and he wants to buy it because he's the closest one to do it. But when he realizes that it comes with Ruth, in whom he has to continue a lineage for Ruth's husband, then he doesn't want to do it because his name is not going to be continued on. His inheritance will not be the same. He will have to split that if he already has a child or whatever with the firstborn of Ruth. So the property that he actually is buying is actually going to go to Ruth's son. And so he says, "I don't want to do that. You can redeem him." And so Boaz gets to do the thing that he desires to do. He gets to marry Ruth. It's funny because I feel like it's like he's just wants to say it so fast, and he wants to do it just so that he knows that he can get it. You know, he's like, hey, because he's like, "You're the last one. You're the only one left. The next one is me. So I'm asking you if you want to do this so that way I can do it because I want to do it," you know. Yeah, because it looks like Boaz really just, because he does care for Ruth. And so this is like an awesome thing that he gets to take care and fulfill a duty that he's called to do, but also that he gets to be with a woman that he thinks is noble and is good and virtuous, and that he gets to love her and care for her and watch over her. He thinks that's an awesome opportunity, and I think that's great. But yeah, after he does it, and he gets to marry her, then the next thing is these witnesses say, "May it be like Rachel, Leah," which are the matriarchs of the 12 tribes. They're the ones in which all the tribes come from, the patriarchs of those 12 tribes. And it says, "May it be like Tamar bore to Judah, And that's another person that is in the line and the lineage of Jesus, but here specifically David. Because what we're going to find out next week is that David comes from the lineage of Ruth. So that's really good. This they put that in there because they want us to recognize and realize that that this particular story, which is a powerful story of a wonderful, virtuous woman, is blessed by having the child David, the greatest king in the kingdom of Israel. What's to say about God? Well, sovereignty, obviously, is that, and I kind of gave a spoiler alert, but that even in these very difficult and trying times, something amazing happens. Is that Ruth finds someone that loves her and cares for her and cherishes her and seeks to protect her. But then that she ends up being the line and the lineage of Jesus. David for her, but Jesus even more, because Jesus is the son of David. And so even then she is just being built up and rolled through this lineage, even though things seem to be tough. Naomi, Ruth. And so it's like a privilege and an honor to be named amongst the people in which Jesus finds his physical descent from. God is doing amazing things. I'm not going to say that you'll be in that line, but if we just trust in God and have faith in what he says, then many things, many wonderful things, beautiful things can happen in our life, even though we feel like our situation is bad, even though we feel like there's a problem in how the people are dealing with us around us, man, is that we can find hope and security in knowing that God's in charge, as long as we seek, love, and just care for God. What's it say about man? Well, again, I always talk about this particular one in the sense of a Christian, is that how Boaz is a model Christian. He's a good dude seeking to do the right thing. See, this other cat, he wanted the land, but then wanted the land for himself, not for the redemption purpose, which was to provide for Ruth and Naomi. He wanted it for himself, but Boaz doesn't desire this. He would happily split and give that inheritance to the child because he cares for the child's mother. He cares for Ruth. And so in the same way, man, we as Christians, man, should be caring about people. And when we help and we give and we bless, we do it not for our own benefit, but for the benefit of others, for the well-being of others. We love God and we love people, and not for our own gain. What can I take from this? I think that's it, is we love people. We love people. We care for the afflicted. We care for the widow and the orphan. We love people. It's easy to say, though, but it's hard to do. And I'm working on it in my life. When I say it's hard to do, I can think of a specific person pops into my head that I need to actually do a better job at loving. Is there somebody in your life that you feel like you need to do a better job at loving? Is there somebody in your life that you need to open up your heart to share the goodness that God has bestowed upon you despite your badness? That's the application for today. I appreciate you guys for listening. We got one more little section. It probably won't be long at all, but we'll go through it. We'll talk about it, and then we'll end there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.